Hey guys, I'm going to show you some basic leg workouts today. This is just going to be body weight workouts that includes cool down as well as warm up. Warm ups are needed to give your muscles the blood flow so that it's ready to do the exercise, and cool down is needed so that after the workout you get the muscles to its original length so that it's not sore, so that it releases the lactic acid that is formed during the workout. So today I'm just going to show 4 exercises for leg workouts, and this is completely body weight, so you can just follow along. I will start with the warm up, get into the exercise, and do the cool down. So for the warm up, we can just begin with boxer shuffle. This is just to give your leg, getting used to the exercise that's going to come further on in the session. You can do it for, say 30 seconds. So this is what we call dynamic stretching. We are not exactly doing stretching. It is basically moving your muscles so the blood flow to that particular part of the body increases. So the chances of injury is less when you're actually performing the workout. Now we'll just move the back and forth exercise. So you can vary the intensity of the speed depending on how comfortable you are. You can also go slow. Then next, what we'll do is high knees. So this is needed so that your glutes and hamstrings get a little stretched. Again, you can just go slow if you're not very comfortable. One knee at a time, one leg at a time. If you're comfortable, you can go a little faster. Once that is done, what you can do is do butt kickers. Now, butt kickers is for mainly your quads, your thighs. What many people tend to ignore are the leg muscles. They only focus on the upper body. But it's important to know that leg muscles are one of the biggest muscles in the body. Of course, the back is also big, but leg is very big and it needs to be trained. Otherwise, your body will look very disproportionate if you have big upper body muscles and very small lower body muscles. It's also important for your abs. Okay, so we're done with this. The point is just keep moving, always be active at a time. The next what we're trying to get to do is sort of side squat. Again, this is just to activate your hamstrings and glutes. It depends on how low you can go. If your knees hurt a lot, you can just be on top. And next, keep your legs a little wide and go all the way to this. You also have to remember in the leg workouts, a little portion of your lower back is involved. So it's necessary to also stretch a little of your lower back. Again, the reason why we are doing this is we will go a little more intense in the main workout session. That is why we need to activate, let the blood flow to those muscles so that the muscles are ready. They know that you're going to do some intense exercise, this will prevent injury. All right. So now what we can do is start with our main exercises. What I try to do is I'll just do one set of each exercise just to show you the correct form. But then you can always go for more than one set. Generally, depending on how comfortable you are, you can go for 2, 3, 4 sets. I would generally recommend doing 12 reps for each set. Again, if you're not comfortable, you can do less. You can add weights. This is purely a body weight exercise, but you can always add weights depending on how comfortable you are. So the first exercise that we start with is the squats. This is generally known as the king of all exercises. What you do is, in this case, you stand your feet shoulder width apart and place your hand forward, tuck your glutes in, tuck your thighs in, keep your back straight and go down. Remember, when you're starting out, you can start with 90 degrees. This is perfectly good starting point. You can go back up, squeeze your glutes as you're going back up. Again, you can go down, be 90 degrees, go up, squeeze your glutes. An important thing to remember in squats is breathe in before you go down, and when you come up, breathe out. Breathe in, go down, breathe out. What happens with this is, when you breathe in, it engages the abdominal muscles. It helps your core keep tight, and that helps you to get a better form when actually doing the squats. Again, let's do it. Let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now remember, you need to keep your back always straight when you're doing these exercises. You're not supposed to bend a lot. You need to keep your quads engaged at all time. Now, if you're comfortable enough, you can go more than 90 degrees, and that is essentially involving doing a complete range of motion. So what I did was this. What I can do is go completely down, stay there, and then come back. So that helps to develop your quads even more. But it's a little difficult when you're starting out squat for the first time. So I would recommend just going 90 degrees when you're starting out. As in, when you get a little advanced, try to go to 130 degrees this way. And another thing to remember is, in squats, you have to have your knees pointing in the direction of your toes. So if my feet is straight ahead, remember my knee also has to be this. It shouldn't be this. If your toes are pointing outwards, shouldn't be your knees pointing this way. Your knee has to be this way in sumo squats. So the next exercise that we will do now is the deadlift. Now deadlift tries to engage your glutes, hamstring, and a little bit of lower back. Now usually people do this with dumbbells or with a barbell, but I'll show you a body weight exercise. What you need to do is keep your feet shoulder width apart. Keep your hands ahead and keep your back straight, and only bend your hips. Try to keep your back straight at all times. Don't round your back. Don't round this. This is wrong. Keep your back straight. Try to push your hips and glutes behind, not forward. Don't do this. Keep your back straight and go behind. What happens with this is it engages this entire section, and it helps to develop your hamstring and glutes. So let's do this again. Let's do it for the entire rep of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you're coming up, remember to squeeze those glutes. Squeeze them. What happens with that? It helps you to put more pressure on your glutes and hamstring. 9, 10, 11. As you see, I'm not bringing my knees a lot in front. I'm just pushing my glutes and hips behind. So the next, it is always good to take some rest between exercises. The more rest you take, the more the muscles get back to their original form, and the lactic acid formation that takes place in muscles gets away, so you're able to do the next exercise even better. But people generally tend to take less breaks so that they want to finish their exercise quickly. Generally, if you're tight on time, that is fine. But if you have a little more time to do your exercises more correctly, take a little more rest between sets if you're doing intense. So the next exercise that we'll do is for adductors and abductors. So you keep your legs apart and try to go down like as if you're sitting. Remember, keep your leg this straight. You should go straight. Bend your knees and go on one leg. So this helps with your adductors and abductors along with the thighs, along with your quads. So this straight, go down, straight, go down, go down. Remember, in all these exercises, before you're actually trying to do the exercise, breathe in. So breathe in, go down, breathe out. Breathe in, go down, breathe out. So you can do this again 10 to 12 reps. This helps again in engaging these muscles. Now once you're done with that, you can do your next exercise. So what we'll do next is your lunges. So lunges is also important for your hamstrings and quads both. So the way you do lunges, keep your legs again shoulder width apart, keep your back straight and go and keep this down. This is called a forward lunge. You see, when you're doing a forward lunge, you'll get a lot of stretch or intense on this leg that is actually going down. It's trying to pull itself. You'll get a lot of pressure here and you'll get a lot of pressure on your glutes. Again, legs are one of the most neglected muscles. So try to incorporate leg exercises. It's really important. I cannot emphasize this enough because most times of your day you're on your legs, so it's important to develop them. This is what your lunges are. You can do it for 12 reps. You can go slow if you're comfortable. Do 12 reps and then you can add on more sets. You can go for 2 sets, 3 sets, 4 sets. You can also add weights actually. If you think it's really easy, just take a pair of dumbbells, a light dumbbell, hold it here and just go down this way. So that is your lunges. So now we are done with that. What we can do, and now we'll move on to cool down. So once you're done with your exercises, it's always important to perform a cool down. It's because now your muscles are stretched. They're under immense pressure. What you need to do is release that lactic acid. So lactic acid gets formed when you stress your muscle. Stretching allows to release the lactic acid, avoids soreness the next day. It allows your muscles to get back to the original length because they are all stressed and they're all contracted. So you want them to be going back to their original length. So stretching is important. Now, this stretching can be static stretching. So what you can do is you can sit down. You can see. Now this is called butterfly stretch. This helps to stretch your adductors and abductors Sit this way, try to bring your feet in and try to push your legs down. If it's not going around naturally, try to push with your elbows. Now this will help to stretch these muscles. It will help to stretch and get back to their original form. As you do this, you will feel the stretch here. Oh, before that, I actually forgot to include one more exercise, that is the calf raises. Again, people, as you see, people tend to neglect their calves. So calf raises is really important. I cannot emphasize that again enough. So for calf raises, what you can do is, if you have an elevated bench or something of that sort, if you have a bench, you can put your feet on the bench, the front foot, and then try to go up and down, up and down. So this helps with your calves. Again, make sure that you're having a complete range of motion. Some people tend to do this. This is not good. This is not really effective. Remember, if you don't have any kind of bench or elevated, you can do it on the ground itself. What you can do is keep your legs elevated and just keep going down. You can take, if you can't balance, take help of something. But remember, complete range of motion so that your entire calf is worked upon. Do this for 12 reps and then you can do more sets if you need. Okay, so continuing with the cool down now. So the first one is the butterfly stretch. So you could do that. Once the butterfly stretch is done, once your adductors are stretched, the next one for your thighs, you remember how you did butt kicks. Now this is what you do in static stretching. So static stretching, as I mentioned, you're not moving much. You want to get your muscles to the original length. So this is static stretching. So this will stretch your quads. So this is the next one. So try to stretch as much as possible. You'll get a feel here. You'll feel a stretch. And again, stretching depends on, you can do it for 15 seconds, hold it for 15 seconds. So that is your thighs. For your glutes, what you can do to stretch is, so you go back, go flat on your back. This leg comes here, this goes 90 degrees. Put your hand behind this here and pull. Try to pull. So what happens with this is, this entire, the other leg that is here, you get a stretch. Let me show you this way. This way. So you get a stretch here. This entire thing stretches. So try to pull as much as you can, as much as you're comfortable until you feel the stretch. Then after doing that, repeat for the next leg. The same thing. So this allows your glutes to be stretched. Then the next stretch will be, you remember how we went down, but now you just stretch. Again, this is like a static stretch. This helps you to stretch your entire abductors and adductors. So this is a stretch. Remember, for this kind of stretch, your leg, when you're going down, keep your feet pointing upwards so that you get an entire stretch. A good stretch. Alright guys, this was your quick leg workout. This doesn't take much time. This was only just one set. You can always do more than one set. If you're comfortable, And if you don't have time, you can just do this one set, which includes warm up as well as cool down. As you see, it does not take much time to incorporate, take out 20 minutes, 25 minutes of your day to put on your health. So thank you. Let me know how did you like this video.